Intoxicated Television. I'm Johnny, here with my boy.
Double Z in this bitch.
We're here to talk a little bit about Oz's story. Like, what are your first musical experiences that you can remember?
Yo, this is a little segment we call Get to Know Z. Get it? Get to know
Get to
Z.
know Z.
Get to know Z. Get to know Z. Fucking get nosy. All like yeah. Oh shit, man! Finally, I get to fucking tell my shit, huh? Earliest memories of fucking music, man, would probably be like around the holidays and shit. Like my grandma would like bump like Elvis records.
Oh, nice.
So I'm talking like my earliest memories of shit like that are probably like 3 years old, 4 years old, like like little ass kid. It's weird because like I can't even remember shit like I did like a week ago, but like I can remember shit from when I'm like 3 years old. That's weird, right?
Kind of normal, I think.
I don't know, man. It fucking freaks me out. And I'm like, why am I having flashbacks of... Yeah, I don't know, man. Fucking weird. But, yeah. I think the earliest shit that I can remember probably would be, like, my grandma on the holidays fucking... They had one of the... I have the record player, too, actually. It's, like, one of those old ones, like, that are in a cabinet and shit. And I remember Elvis records, and I remember like I'd be dancing and shit, and fucking that was like a bond me and my grandma had together, like because I'd get so excited about it. So like that was a thing between me and her, like Elvis. That was our like connection. Like as I grew up, when I was older. So like on Christmas and shit, I would like buy my grandma like Elvis things. And then she's like, "You're only fucking buying me all this shit so you can get it back when I die."
Oh, man.
She's like, "You're only buying me all this Elvis shit because you want it when I die." No, Grandma, I was not doing that. But
It's a lot of Elvis.
that was a lot of little joke. But anyway, yeah. So like as far as earliest memories, like that's what I would say. And then moving on from there, like on Easter, my mom would always get me fucking records and shit, like actual records. So I remember like I must have been like around the same age, like 3, 4 or some shit. Like Easter one year, I got the I think my first record, it was Mouser Size. You know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so it was like Mickey Mouse, fucking Walt Disney, but it was that was like who's the the they do exercises, fucking who's that one dude? Who was the dude from the 80s that did the fucking... The... Pauly Shore just did a fucking... something... like a documentary about like...
exercise TV show?
Like, yeah, like the exercise shit. Fuck, I can't think of his goddamn name. It's gonna piss me off.
I know. I can't.
You know who I'm talking about, though.
Man.
Yeah, the dude with the afro. The white dude with an afro and shit.
Come on, ladies.
Come on, everybody. Fucking... So anyway, they had a Mickey Mouse version of it for kids, but it was like the cartoon characters and you're like do exercises and shit. It was called Mouser Size. So I remember getting that. That was like I think that was like probably the first album that I got, my first record, and then after that, like my mom started buying me records for Easter every year actually. And I got Michael Jackson and Thriller one year. Right on. Like I'm a little ass kid. and I got the Thriller fucking album for fucking my Easter present, and then I don't know, like a year or two after that, I got the Bad Michael Jackson Bad fucking with. So I had both fucking Michael Jackson, you know, from my time, and damn. So that was like started my musical journey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting records like when I'm little tiny and shit, like getting records for presents and shit. So like that definitely influenced my path in life. Also, I remember like on weekends, my mom would like clean house and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the early 80s. Weekends, my mom would be home and fucking she'd clean the whole motherfucking house, top to fucking bottom, fucking dust, sweep, fucking mop, fucking dust everything, fucking wipe everything down, fucking all the shit. But all weekend, man, she would have her records on fucking maximum fucking loudest fucking volume possible. And so she was listening to Fleetwood Mac fucking a lot, the Rumors album, Dr. Hook. I remember when she got that fucking, the doctor, she burned hers out. She had to go get it again. The Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show fucking album. Let's see, like the Eagles, fucking Steely Dan, fucking fuck, there's one more I can't fucking think about right now. Fuck, I can see the album cover, but yeah, so like heavily influenced, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so from like an early age, I'm just like, music was always like around me. You know, like I was saying with my grandma, it felt like there was like some connect, you know? Maybe that's why I'm so passionate about shit. Because like I felt like we had a bond through the music, because she knew that, you know, like I would vibe to it, and then she'd like, you know, like,
oh yeah, music brings all people together.
You know what I'm saying, man? Like, and just like I said, my mom like fucking just blaring these fucking records like full fucking volume. You're a little kid, there's loud ass music, you don't know what the fuck is going on, but like she would play them so much. Those are the songs that stick in my head to this day and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that shit was like embedded in my fucking brains and shit. So yeah, I guess that would be my thing.
Start.
Moving on through that, I remember. So I remember. I don't know. I probably was like 10 or 11, and we had a school project, and they were like, they're like, you have to write to a famous person, and like, they have like this book of like famous people, and they have their address or how you can reach them and shit.
All
and
right.
you're supposed to write a letter to a famous person, and I wrote one to Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
And I actually, like a month later or something, fucking, I got a letter from him, and it was like a signed, like promo fucking picture, like shit.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was like
Hell
the glossy one and shit. And then I'm like, oh hell no! Like, they probably like just print these off, right? So I like licked my finger, and I went to do it, and it's smeared. So it actually was like a actual autograph and shit. But now I still have it. I still have it, and it's got like a smudge mark on it now, because like I had to make sure I had to make sure it was like real ink. And then so that was like when I was like 10 or 11. So I wrote a letter to Ozzy Osbourne, and I actually got a fucking autograph from him. So that was cool.
That's so tight. Yeah, I didn't know they did that. They never did that to us. And
And then the next one was when I was 12, and they said, you have to write a report, like, where are you going to be in 10 years? What do you see your future in 10 years?
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, my band's going to have a fucking record contract. I'm like, we're going to be on a major tour, fucking, like, touring around the world. And
Okay, so step it back a little bit from there. So,
all right.
So you're already writing about having a band. And
Yeah.
Shit. So
12 years old, I remember.
What got you even the thought of having a band or even starting a group? Like, what influenced you towards that?
Okay, so shout out to my homies, fucking Kevin and Joe. We were like the outcast, like dirty kid in school. Fucking, we're like go to this Jesus school and shit, and like, I don't know, man. Like,
you know, Jesus.
We're going to this Jesus school and like, I don't know, man. Like the old kids would fucking fuck with us to like throw rocks at us and shit on recess and like fucking. So we kind of like just like had our own little fucking homie, you know. We had our own little clique. We're like, fuck everybody, fucking. And so we were like, we bonded over music, bro. Like, really. So like in this day, it's like Metallica, early Metallica, like fucking Motley Crue and shit, like. All the hair bands started coming out and shit, like fucking Winger and fucking just everything. Faster Pussycat and fucking, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like, but it was like Dr. Feelgood, fucking, like, I don't know. It's just different time and shit. But like we bonded over music and shit. And we always talked about it as kids and shit, like, you know what I'm saying?
So like, yeah,
that's what I mean. Like when I was 12, I wrote that shit. So, I don't know, man. We was just talking about that shit, like when we were kids, like that, like early, like preteen shit. Like we bonded over music, but it turned into like a brotherhood. But it like also. We just always talked like about it, that we were gonna fucking be like we made up a name for a band that we didn't even have any instruments or anything, and we were gonna call it Creepin' Death, which is a Metallica song, Creepin' Death, fucking. But that we were gonna call ourselves Creepin' Death. We still joke about it to this day, like that we're gonna have a reunion someday, even though we never even.
Yeah. Anything can happen.
Yeah, bro. Just okay. So what was the question?
You wanted to start a band.
Yeah. So you're like, how did I want to start a band? It's probably from that little circle with my homies, man. And we're like, fuck yeah, we're gonna like have a band and shit. Like this is what we're gonna do. So like that shit always stuck with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, for sure.
Right. Oh
yeah. Now what?
So then, yeah, where did you go from there? Were you actually trying to pursue creating a band?
Well, I mean, at that age, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing and shit, and like, I ended up having, I moved away, so I didn't have them around anymore. Like, we always talked about it and shit, like the fucking, like, yeah, we're gonna get guitars and we're gonna fucking put this band together and shit. But like, a lot of different things happened over our childhoods, and we kind of like drifted apart for not because we didn't want to hang out, but like living situations and shit like that. But I don't know. And so what led me into it after that? So actually before all that happened and shit, and I met those guys, like, there was like some magazine that I was reading or something or a book, and it had like they were having a poem contest, and they're like, send in your fucking poem, and it was like an age group that I fit into. I was probably only like, I don't know, maybe like 10 or something. Maybe let's just say 10. Like, so I was little, and there was a contest for a poem, and I wrote a love poem. What does a 10-year-old or an 8, 9, 10-year-old know about love, right? I wrote this poem, and they submitted it, or I mean they accepted it, and they published me in some fucking book. And I wish I could fucking find this fucking book, because that poem is dope, and I don't know what the fuck it is. But I remember I got like some certificate in the mail, and they're like, yeah, you've been published and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Nice.
It's like some grim ass fucking about how love hurts and shit. Like, I didn't know nothing about any of that shit. But anyway, so I got published and shit. So, I mean, that was, I would have to say that was like a big boost, you know, of a big boost that, hey, I can write something and actually like get recognized for it and shit.
Yeah.
So I
like it.
Yeah, I think that was like a pivotal moment that, damn, like, for real? Like, I didn't think I was going to win no things and shit or anything, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that was pretty motivational to say the least.
Oh, for sure.
And then, fast forward, I meet these guys and we're talking about having a band and all this shit. And then fast forward past that, like, so since the poem shit, like, I was always writing and shit. So, like, I started, like I would just think of things and I would write everything down, like, for always writing shit down, man. Like, I always had paper and a pen on me in my pockets, and it would come to me in the weirdest time, but I would start writing shit down all the time. And then, I don't know, man. I don't know what it was but I adapted to the rap style and just started rhyming everything and getting that whole flow down and shit. And yeah, so I mean, to be honest, I've been writing since I was like a little kid and shit. I've always been a writer.
Never wanted to play an instrument or anything?
That's a good question. At one point, I think for like my birthday or Christmas or some shit, my mom bought me a guitar, and she, like, an acoustic guitar. She got me like the video, like how to learn, like VHS fucking like lessons and shit. And I tried, man, but I just it's always something that I wanted to do, you know, but I didn't. I just felt like my fingers are all like retarded and shit. Like, they can never do what I want them to do, and I'd get so frustrated, and I'd try so hard, but I just couldn't like get it, and so I'd get frustrated, and so many times I got fucking pissed off and like was like mad about myself, like why my fingers don't do what I want and shit. and then for a brief time, somebody said that if you can play piano, then you can play pretty much any instrument, like in one way or other, you know what I mean? So I wanted to like learn piano, like keyboards and shit like that, just so I could understand more properly like music structure, but that never fucking happened either. So I just came to the realization that I don't have to do all that shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm a fucking writer. I'm a lyricist. Fucking, that's my fucking. If I'm like trying to do all this other shit, it's taking me away from fucking doing that, and I am like spreading myself around different. Like, I just need to stick in my lane, basically. Like, people are like, oh, you make beats and shit? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, and it's like, I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, you know,
You can if you want to.
I
But
save a lot of fucking money. I fucking make my own shit. I already know what I hear in my head. I can fucking do this, that. But then it's like, how long am I gonna spend like trying to master that shit when that's not even what the, like, you know, I just, people have their niche, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know what I mean?
Lyrics.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just like, I just like stay in my lane, man. Like I've accepted that like that's my lane and I need just to stay, you know what I mean? I'd rather pay somebody else to do beats. I'd rather pay somebody else to do the instruments and shit. Like that's you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people are versatile, which is like much love and respect for all that and shit. But it's like, you know, that would be, you know, I mean,
yeah,
there's exceptions. Like some people know how to play every fucking instrument. Like, oh, that's fucking amazing. Like, good for you and shit. But for the most part, most people have one thing that they're really good at. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I'm not going to ask you to play guitar and play drums at the same fucking time and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, like...
I'd have to learn how to play drums.
I don't know, man. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, you can spread yourself too thin and be okay at everything, or you can just be really fucking good at one thing. Right.
So, like, that's pretty much where I've always been at. Like, I just, like, focused on... I've come to accept that I'm not trying to take on anything more than I already have on my plate, and fucking to just accept the fact that I'm a writer and I'm a fucking lyricist and fucking and that's what the fuck I do, and that's where I need to focus about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cheers to that.
What else, Johnny?
What else?
I mean, I guess I can go a little bit further. We're almost out of time anyway.
I was thinking also like what okay, so like what also wanted you to make to become a performer as well. Not only just being a writer, but to be a performer.
I think that it all just like came into it together, you know what I'm saying? Like rock star. You know what I'm saying?
Just want to be a rock star.
I just want to be a rock star. I wanted to be the dude that's on the stage. Like I wanted to be that guy fucking on stage fucking doing crazy shit and fucking everybody's like cheering and shit like that. Like I wanted to be that guy. The rock star image fucking shit, I guess. Just want to be a performer, man. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess it all just ties in together with the music and shit. Like, it's much like I never was like, I want to be the best writer ever. I'm like, no, fuck no. I want to write the best shit. I want to be a rock star. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking. So, the writing, like, I just never stopped that, and like I was always writing poems. I was always like, it started with poems actually, but you know what I mean. But then once like I got rap, and I noticed the rhyming shit, that advanced me from not just like writing fucking random shit to having a little bit of structure. I still didn't know how to write bars or any shit like that, like any structure that way. But all my shit started to rhyme, and like, you know, I still didn't even really know about syllable and multis and shit like that. But like, I started getting the rhyme shit down and shit. So, and then so I started writing, and I had a few raps, you know, and I fucking like do the shit for my friends and shit, and fucking getting good feedback and shit, and oh shit, you know, like, oh fuck, do that, what is it, do that rap again and shit or whatever, you know. So I was like, getting a little bit like that, and then I was hanging out with another high school friend of mine, he was a drummer. Shout out Mikey Love. He started drumming for this fucking rock band and shit, and I started like going to support my boy, but then I actually like started like getting in and fucking hanging out with their bands and shit, or with the band members, and like I was coming around so much, we all became friends and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they started letting me come on to their like during their show, and like let me spit some bars and shit.
Oh, nice. While they're live performing.
Yeah, with the band and shit, they would like you know, the singer. So shout out to 6 Pound Sledge for giving me my first fucking break.
So that was like one of the first times you were on stage performing a little bit?
Yeah, dog. That was like for real. Like, cause he'd be like, I'm gonna go get some water. Fucking let Oz come up here, and they'd be like, come on, fucking. Yeah. I'd be like, fucking rapping with the fucking band and shit, dude. And I'm like for real, legit rapping and shit, dog. That's where like Negative Vibes came from, dude.
Oh, okay.
So that's like 20-year-old fucking song and shit. That's what was the beginning of that shit. Like, Brand New Year is one of those. Like, fucking, like 20-year-old fucking songs that are like just finally coming out and shit. But yeah, that was the start of it all.
Oh yeah.
We gotta wrap this up pretty quick, but yeah. So they would do shows, and I was always around, and they would like, I backed them up on another one of their songs, and I would just scream and shit. Like, yeah, so I was doing like background vocals and shit.
That's another question I had. Like, what got you into or how to do that? Like you're screaming vocals. Like, what made you want to do that, and how did you can get your voice to do that so easily?
I don't know, man. I guess it's just the fucking the anger from the pit of your guts. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just like everything I was influenced by. Like, I didn't want to be stuck in a box, and I didn't want to be a rapper. I was never my intention to be a rapper. I just wanted to be a musician. You know what I'm saying? So, but because of my style, I was kind of stuck in a box. Everybody that just thinks I'm a fucking rapper. That's why when I'm like doing background vocal for them and like screaming, and that's all I do, people are confused. They're like, I thought that was a rapper guy and shit. But now he's like screaming his fucking brains out. You know what I mean? Like, weird shit. We gotta shut this shit down. But yeah, we're gonna fucking come back. We'll fucking see y'all fucking soon.
Plenty more to the story.
Fucking new segment. Get to know Z, bitch. You get too nosy, bitch. Cheers. Fucking subscribe. Tell all your fucking peoples. We're almost at 100 subscribers. Fucking, we only need 900 more of you. Cheers, queers.
Cheers.
Bram, bram, bram. Cheers. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.